Welcome to the Veilcast, where we talk about Camelot Unchained, the new MMORPG from Mark Jacobs, hopefully coming out at the end of next year. And we are talking about the bounty system, killing people and getting paid for it. That's what I'm all about. Also, the destruction system, blowing up walls, blowing up keeps and castles. We got some cool video of that, how they're working. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the delay. If we think they're delaying, are they going to delay? Are we on track for the end of 2016? All of that and a whole bunch more. Joining me as always, Chris, all the way from across the pond. How you doing today, man?
Doing great.
Doing good?
I actually managed to sleep today.
It's like 95 over there. You don't have any AC?
Yeah. No, I don't.
I know. It's terrible.
even my fan broke last week.
Oh my god.
So that's been insane, but I'm doing great.
Well, good on you for not
vacation for 2 weeks.
Nice.
So,
vacation.
Yep.
That's
and
awesome.
next week I'm going to Denmark. So
Denmark.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm searching the cold. I'm trying to go north to get the cold.
I'm going to Antarctica. It's going to be so nice. I'm going to land on the beach. It's going to be amazing.
Exactly.
Right? Awesome. Velik, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Actually, do it.
Are you going to Denmark too? What are you up to?
Oh, yeah. Chris doesn't know it. I was going to fly over and just hide in his luggage.
Just going to hide. Don't do that. They have stories about people doing that and then they die. So don't. If you're watching, kids, don't do that. Well, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about the bounty system. Now, if you don't know much about the bounty system, I wouldn't put it past you because there's not much info out. Right, guys? Like, this was from what?
Like nothing.
How long ago was this bounty? If you search for it on their website, there's like a 2-paragraph thing. It was a stretch goal.
I just posted it in chat.
Yeah, I mean, it was a stretch goal. How long ago was this, though? Was this like literally 2 years ago?
Literally, yeah.
I don't know.
Was it during
exactly
the Kickstarter, or was it
a
after Kickstarter?
I think it was a bit after. It was during the BSC days, I think.
BSC days? That's still about 2 years ago. It's a long time ago.
It is.
And let's talk a little bit about it. Velik, I know you got some notes there. What do we know so far, Velik? Walk us through this. What's going on?
Not a lot, but we do know a couple of things. We know there's a couple different. They want to do different types of bounties. Some of the bounties, honestly, just sound like quests. Like, you can get bounties from the king or from your realm that go like, this guy on the other faction is kicking too much ass, go kill him. But they can also, according to that post, take the form of, we want you to go kill this PvE monster, it's doing things we don't like or whatever. Or that maybe even this castle needs to be taken down, so on and so forth. So they establish some objectives in PvP, but some of those might even be PvE objectives. So to that kind of aspect of it sounds like quests to me. But then there's also the aspect where players can set up bounties on other players and maybe even objectives, and guilds can. So maybe guilds might even be able to say, we want to take down this keep, so we will set up this bounty for a bunch of people to come help us take down this keep, or,
So can you set up a bounty just on people, or like you said, a keep? Do you think maybe it's like a zone or a building as well? That seems...
It's kind of
hard
that's
to keep
what I
track
took
of.
Reading it. It seemed like there was going to be multiple different types of bounties you can do.
Right.
Some towards people, some towards things.
And real quick, Ibsen in chat, just BSC days was about a year ago. 2 years ago was the Kickstarter. A year ago was the BSC days. So the bounty system's been out. It was one of the first stretch goals, and it's been for about a year. Let's start with the first part you said, how the king can give these out. Now, the king is like an NPC, kind of the leader of your faction, of your realm. Maybe, I don't know how that would work. Like some other person on the Dirty Vikings are like, killing everybody. And so the king's like, go take care of that person. Is that too much PvE?
100 to 1 kill to death ratio. Right. He must die.
Right. I mean, do you guys think is that too much PvE because it's an NPC giving out a quest? Nobody wants quests, but at the same time,
I think
PvP.
It's not exactly a quest because we still have the report system, so it's more something to increase the power of your own realm. So it still fits with the lore. It still fits with the system. It's like the king can also probably put a bounty on the Vikings control too much mines of that resource. Go take some mines. So your own crafters can then go mine those nodes rather than the enemy. So that's kind of PvE, but still with the PvP orientation.
Because people are going to say, this is a PvP game. There's going to be a quest tracker over there saying, go take a mine from the Vikings.
It's like a PvE concept that drives more PvP, though, because I can see it happening in two ways. On the one hand, we have the king going, it just tracks stats, and it goes, okay, this guy has tons of kills to each one of his death. He's kicking ass, so we need to target him, and maybe it'll put a marker on him or something when you're close by him, so everyone knows to just gun that guy down.
How cool would that be? Wouldn't that make you feel like the ultimate badass?
Like, and then you get extra bonus points or something, extra rewards for killing him. You're like, oh. Right. In the second hand, what I see is Planet Side 2. I know Chris will know what I'm talking about here, where the players don't necessarily have to do it. The realm itself, the AI, occasionally goes, this is an important target on the map. This base, go take that over. Yep. And so while you're playing, you'll be in the middle of a game. You've been fighting for hours, and all of a sudden the king goes, we really need that castle over there. I will give you extra rewards if you can go take it. Yeah. And so then everybody goes, and we're going to go take that.
Right. I don't know. Do you guys like that sort of? I like the first, Chris, you talked about how the Vikings have too many mines. Let's go take a mine back. That makes sense. I'm worried that if it's just, hey, some random point, like that feels really kind of PvE.
It's, I don't think it's going to be random points like that.
It could be, but.
Guilds, for example, the bounty system could be used for a guild who is actually rich but doesn't have enough players to set kind of like a mercenary outfit, saying, go take, you can divide the bounty, go take that keep for us, so we can sit back and just let you work for that. Or, like, I don't know if any of you played APB, All Points Bulletin, Reloaded, because I used to play the old game, not the Hacker Fest one. But when you started being way too deadly, you were in a killing spree. You had like 10 kills in a row without dying. You took too much objectives. If you were an enforcer, the criminals would put a contract on your head, or if you were a criminal, the enforcers would put an APB out for all enforcers to go to you. So your location would be noted on the map for everybody to see.
It's like the GTA star system.
Exactly. I never played GTA. So
you get 5 stars for committing crimes. Yeah. All the cops in the city come after you. You know,
exactly. Wouldn't that make you feel like the ultimate badass? Like a lot of games have like a leaderboard, right?
Everybody comes for you.
Seriously, like usually it's like, oh, I did really good. I'm at the top of a leaderboard, but it's kind of meh. But like if you were doing so good, you're killing so many people. The king of the other faction says we have to take that guy out. Like you would be like, I'm the man. Like the whole realm is coming after me.
You can actually play bait.
Right.
How long is it going to take them to kill me?
You stay in a point, and your whole guild surrounds and puts ambush around.
Right, and they come after you.
Everybody comes after you. They just kill them, and they become also targets.
Absolutely. I mean, that would be fun. That would be very, very, very cool. How do you think it will work? As far, because didn't it say, like, I remember maybe it's not in this update, maybe it was something Mark said some other time, but like you couldn't troll with this, right? Like, because it seems like if someone makes me mad on the forums or wherever, someone kills me in PvP and I have a ton of money and I just put a bounty on this guy's head over and over and over. Chris, I like set a bounty on you to kill you. Like
I'm not even surprised. Dude.
Never ending, right? Like, is it?
I think the only way. I mean, you could do that. You could troll with that like that. But I think the only way it would really hurt is if it actually marked you on the map. Like if it said, "Hey, this guy is right here," I think that would be a bad thing. If it's, you're in line of sight of the guy and then it kind of marks him and goes, this guy has a bounty. You're like, oh, I think that's fine because you're going to be trying to kill those people anyway. Right. It's just going to zero you in on that guy to go, hey, he really needs to die.
Right. But if you're in a big battle and the guy's got a star in his head.
The only way to really make it trolly is if it enables friendly fire.
Oh,
if you have a bounty on your head, if you have a bounty on your head and your own faction can kill you,
that's
going to be troll fest. That's going to be troll fest. But at the same time, it fits with the lore.
That's true.
A little bit.
Because that would say, I don't know. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to pay enemies to kill somebody in my faction.
That's true. Well, didn't they remember we
I'm
talked
not
about
gonna
this?
give money to my enemies.
Right. And we talked about this, I think, a few episodes ago, a while back, about balance and how if there's
Yeah.
people like gaming the system and kill trading and stuff, it can negatively affect. What if you
Yes.
did that? What if you see this guy and he's kill trading with your buddy and you're like, dude, what the heck? You put a bounty on your own person because you know he's being a troll or whatever, right? He's putting up, stupid looking buildings or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's really crazy.
It's for one individual, the bounty system is going to take a lot of balance and a lot of thought
Right.
to actually make it right, because it has a lot of potential to be trolling.
It's
Right.
probably why we don't know more details about it.
How do you know? So you're talking about not putting like a point on the map, Velik. Let's say I get a bounty. Let's say from the king, and it's to kill Joe Schmo, right? How do I know where to find him? How do I even know if he's logged in? How do I? You know what I
I
mean?
think for a king given bounty, marking you on the map is okay because it can't be trolled, because it's the king, it's the AI, it's the
Yeah,
it's the
I think
game
that
itself
would be okay.
giving you the objective. So there's no way to troll that.
Or maybe
Unless,
like a delayed notice, like it says
unless
this guy
the
was
CSC
here within the
devs-
last 10 minutes.
Maybe it's like
Yeah.
the big
So you
circle.
know he
and
was
it's
in
like
that area.
Yeah,
somewhere.
exactly, and you have to search.
Yeah.
Maybe just saying he's on this island, since we will have island on the map. So he's on this island.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be okay.
That would be good.
But for individuals, I think it shouldn't mark you unless you're in line of sight.
Right. But then if you see someone, you're in a big battle, you think it should show visually a sword and crossbones, something over their head that says, kill this person, they're your bounty,
Yep.
you think? Or do you think you should have to like read every single name? Like, where's Joe Schmo? Joe Schmo?
We'd have to have some kind of an indication. I
Yes.
don't think it should be a big glowing star
An
over their
aura,
head.
maybe an aura around him.
Yeah,
Right.
some way for you to identify.
Arbricus in chat
or-
said light up their footprints for people who have bounties. Maybe you could do that. Maybe a glow or something. Can we put bounties on guilds? Like a guild makes you mad, and like anybody in the guild.
I don't know.
How cool would
It's
that?
the
I
same-
would do that. I would be like,
Yes, but it's the same. It's potential trolling.
Better have a
You're
lot
a
of
big
money.
guild.
right.
You're a big guild. You want to annoy the smaller ones. You just put a bounty on the small
Are
ones.
you talking about
to
your
get-
own faction or other factions?
Yeah, if it's again having a bounty and paying your enemies to kill your allies.
That's your own. I mean, we have no idea if that's possible. But
Yes.
what if it's another faction, right? It's the other faction. The
That's
guild
its
just
own-
came and they took your keep and they killed it, and you're like, oh, I hate those guys.
Then I'm okay with that. No problem.
Right? I think that's pretty cool. Like,
That's-
especially if you
for
have a
the
ton of
guilds-
money.
For the guilds, I would prefer a war system.
A war system? Well, that kind of is
Yeah.
a war. If somebody puts a bounty on your guild, like,
Yes,
it's a war.
It would be a different system. You don't need to put a bounty. Bounty mean you're paying people to kill that guild. Whereas the war system, you notify everybody, you're at war with this guild, and you're gonna by priority kill the members of that guild.
Right.
Now here's a question I have, and I know Chris is kind of against this lore wise, which I kind of agree with, but since we are a 3-faction MMO, if you're putting things just on your enemies and that bounty only applies to your faction, it's kind of moot to a certain degree because they're going to be trying to kill them anyway. Your own allies are going to be trying to kill your enemies anyway. So what do you think it would do if you could use put a bounty on, say, some Tuatha, and then the Vikings can cash in on that too? You can go, I want to burn down this guild's castle because I hate them. And the Vikings show up to the same battlefield to burn down their castle.
Almost like a black market kind
Yeah.
of thing. Like,
Yeah.
Chris's
I
camera
would've- yeah.
froze. He looks very funny there.
Oh, wow, that expression.
Oh, here comes the
I
dog.
hate-
There we go. He's coming back. Velik, I agree with you. You're
I
trying
won't
to
give
kill
Scuba time to actually take a screenshot this time.
Velik. You're trying to kill the other faction anyway. I agree with you on
Yeah.
that. But if you're in a big battle, let's say there's 100 people out there, and you have a bounty to kill this person or this guild, and you see that icon or whatever it is, you know you're gonna focus those people first if you can.
Yeah.
So it does still add something to it. But I like that idea. How would you put like money in escrow? It goes like this black market dealer guy, and then when they do it, it just takes it. Or
And the other idea for it is if you can do that, maybe that's an option. Like you can put it just for your faction, or you could do it for multiple factions, but it costs more money or something. But also, what if a faction is being the underdog? They're getting beaten down and they can't do anything, so they set up a bounty for one of the other factions to go kill the faction that's beating on them, go take out one of their castles or something as a calculated move to kind of swing the balance of power away from themselves.
Couldn't you swing that the other way though? The two big dogs put bounties on the little one, like,
but they're already beating them up anyway. So at that point,
like, what's the point?
Yeah,
right. How about the soul system, right? Because when you kill people, you get to steal a piece of their soul. Like, could you also do that as well? Like, go kill them and bring me their soul. Like, and they bring you this gem with their soul.
I know. As a crafter, but that's not bounties. That's work orders, kind of, because that would mean crafters on your realm say, okay, I need that many souls. I'll pay anybody who bring me them.
Right.
What if you want a specific soul?
Well, that could just be any soul too.
But that means, for example, you die in battle. Somebody took your soul and put it on the sword. You put a bounty on this guy to get your soul back.
Oh, right. That's true. Yeah, I mean, that would definitely work. I know at the end of the bounty system of their update, it says, stay tuned for more information on the system for this stretch goal over the coming weeks. Did we ever see any sort of update on that? Any new information?
So. There's been some discussions. Again?
That's all right. You look good, bro. Just go with it.
Yeah.
Just go with it. Chris, you said there was some discussion about it, or?
On the forums, there's been some discussion about what the bounty system could be, and exactly what we said, how exploitable and how trolly it can get or griefy it can get. So,
but no official
nothing.
No, that's probably because the reason why they haven't talked about it much.
Right.
There is a potential for a lot of trouble if you don't set the system right.
Yeah, and until they have the other systems nailed down, I don't expect to see details on the bounty system because again, it's going to depend on what the other system, how the other systems work. It's probably going to depend on how some of these ancillary things work.
Yeah. I still think it'd be so cool though.
Arbicus mentioned in chat for the how to identify the bounties, they could maybe be on like a mini map. You know, have like a ping for someone on there, so it's not like glow on the screen, but maybe up in your mini map. And
right,
yeah,
I can just imagine. I think of like Conan the Barbarian. You know, like see your enemies driven before you, hear the lamentation of them. I can just imagine having this money and like go kill those people, bring me their ears, right? And like just like you could almost if you had enough. Like if you had enough money, I mean, we don't know if there's a limit on bounties, but you could almost be like a warlord. Like you're not going out there and fighting yourself per se, but you're like basically commanding like dozens of people. Like, you know what I mean? Like
that's what the crafters will be.
Yeah, I mean, you're like sending droves of people out. Like I want that mine. Go take it for me.
I'm not going to fight. I'm going to pay people to fight for me.
And that could be a good point, too, for a crafter. You know, if they really need access to a certain resource, they can pay people to go help them take it.
Right.
And then...
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Velky, we're talking about how, you know, we may not get more information on this until they kind of nail down some other systems. Let's go ahead and transition into one of those systems that they're working on currently. Andrew Meggs is like the senior engine coder guy. He's the one that makes the game do what the game does. And he's been posting some stuff on his Facebook and his Vine. Let's go ahead. We'll go down.
Smashing time.
Right, smashing time. Building destruction physics coming online. You may have seen this, may not. Let's go ahead and start. There's a couple of different things. There's 3 different sort of these short videos. Let's start with this first one here. And it's real simple. He's kind of up on a mountainside. He has 5 blocks. He like lets them go, and they just drop down. That looks pretty cool, right? Like
that does.
There's square blocks, but look at the physics, the way it bounces. That I mean, it's like.
Yeah, they're probably tweaked the physics because right now it looks very rubbery and it bounces a lot.
Very bouncy.
Very bouncy. I don't want to be standing on the ground with one of those things coming down on my head.
No,
that you won't,
right?
Because they said there's going to be physics and damage from the rubber.
Right? Do those do damage?
So
you think?
Yes, they will.
They land,
Those-
crush people. Also think like
Yep.
siege weapons, catapults. What if the
Right.
rock from a catapult can
Yes.
also bounce and roll around once it hits? Instead of just blowing up
Right?
like
Isn't
it does
that
in
Lord
most
of the
games,
Rings and he
it starts
throws it and-
rolling and shit.
Yep.
It rolls over
Exactly.
people, right? I mean, this. I don't know. Remember, you can build your own keep. So do you think it's like going to be a good strategy maybe to build a keep with parts that could fall off like on top of your attackers?
That's gonna force people to think when they build, because
Right.
Yeah.
if you build stupidly and just breaking one part of your keep makes 3/4 of your keep fall on your head,
Right.
You're
You
dead.
could kill yourself because the enemy hits the thing in the right spot.
So, for example, take an example that you would relate to, Ziz.
Don't
You
do
make a penis
Don't
keep.
do it. Okay.
You break the balls, the penis falls on your head.
Right.
You're dead.
So you're standing at the top of the tower. They hit the bottom of the tower. The whole thing collapses on top of your own players.
You take fall damage, and the players under it take crushing damage.
But I think the important thing is here that they're working on actual physics for this. So it's not just
Yes.
it's not just scripted. You're not just going to have like in TISO,
not
the
the same
same
every
spot
time.
on the wall
Yeah.
blows up every
Exactly.
time.
Yeah.
But also it's a matter of how you hit it and how you do the damage. The attacker can hit the nearest part of a tower on the ground near them, take that out. It's not going to fall in on the castle. It's going to fall out towards them.
Right.
It's physics.
Exactly.
The weight's going to pull that tower towards them, so they want to make sure that they've got that area clear.
Yes.
It even leads to defensive and offensive strategies for that. The defenders can sit there and see them damaging the tower or something, and then maybe they can come from the other side and go, just push it over.
Right. Just. And do you think you can add weight to it and like it tips over because the weight? Do you think weight will be a factor?
No,
or-
but there's wind magic.
Oh my gosh! You call.
There's-
So you do some damage and then you use a.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh!
Wind and earth damage.
Earth, wind, and fire, baby. We gotta.
Exactly.
We'll get to the
That-
fire later.
I can just picture like you have all these melee people up front on a ram or something, and then like it starts crumbling, and they're like, "Run away!" Run away. They're like running.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. We have another one here. This was kind of a follow up to it, and these are actually older. I think these were posted. This was
Yes,
posted a
that's
month
the first
ago.
few.
Yeah.
And so this here kind of shows just a rough keep, and then obviously this is very rough, but I mean the whole thing's like falling down.
It shows the mechanics at least.
Right, like I mean this is super rough. This is like, you know, you never see this with any other game, but this, use your imagination. Hundreds of people fighting around this thing.
And inside.
Inside in that tower, like have we seen this in
Imagine
any
that
other
thing falling on your head.
have we seen this in any other game, MMO sort of? I mean, even
Falling rubble damage? No.
No,
even games
I
like
can think of a couple
Minecraft.
games with damage and destruction, but taking
Yes.
damage from the things collapsing, no, not really.
No.
I mean, like ESO, you talked about how you can blow a hole in the wall, but it's the same hole every time. It doesn't do any
And
damage.
it just disappears. There's no rubble. It's the texture changing and
Right.
the whole opening. There's no rubbles falling or flying towards you, doing damage.
And I mean, I just imagine this keep. I mean, if you think there's hundreds and thousands of blocks in a keep like this, though, that's time that another person, another guild spent harvesting it all, refining it all, taking it
Yeah.
out there.
3 hours of their
Build
work just
it.
fell down.
Like that's a lot more than 3 hours. Like
That
could be weeks worth of
that's
time.
gonna be, as we said in another episode. That's gonna be Alistair's dream. He feeds on tears.
Right? No, you are. You're gonna see.
You're gonna make them cry.
Yes, there's gonna be streamers who are like, no, my baby.
My keep.
We're terrible
I
people.
just-
We're laughing.
I'm sorry. I just laugh just thinking about
I know,
it.
but that's what you want, right? Like
Yes.
games nowadays are
Yes.
so just fluff and meaningless stuff. You kill someone in an arena, it's like whatever, they respawn,
and
whatever.
you're dead. You're dead. You respawn and you go back to fighting.
Right.
There's gonna be consequences to fights
Yes.
now.
This is gonna be Alistair's gonna feed on their tears. Let's look at this one last thing. This is the newest one posted, and this looks amazing. Walk me through this, Velik. What am I looking at here, Velik? Give me the play-by-play.
Which one are we playing?
This is the green
Destruct-
wall.
yeah.
Oh, you
We have
mean
a
the
strim.
You mean the Sturm burning its way through the army men wall?
Literally burning its way through the wall.
It's Camelot
Yep.
Unchained meets Army Men right now because it's all in texture,
That's
of
true. It's
course.
untextured.
And I think I even saw a post from him talking about how he was building this completely OP wall to test this. Not the
Really?
wall itself, but the wall of fire. He was like, "I'm building this completely OP wall of fire to burn through this."
Yeah,
and then
and
he posts this about burning a hole through the wall because I'm hopeful a wall of fire is not going to burn
Yeah,
through a
no
stone
way.
wall.
It's just he said it was just to show how it would work in
Yeah.
an extreme condition to make it fast.
Right.
Because fire doesn't have that much effect on stones unless
Right.
you have intense heat. Since we
Yeah.
know that there's going to be different damages, I doubt fire will make a lot of damage to the walls. To the wooden structures, yes, but not to the walls.
So
Yeah,
now you
I
got to
think
think about what you're building with.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think the good thing about looking at this, though, about looking at what's happening is we can see. I mean, of course, once these are textured, we won't notice how blocky it is. It won't look quite
Yes.
that bad. Right now, it's really blocky.
Right.
But you can notice how, as it's taking damage, it's taking out the different blocks and damaging the parts that are essentially being hit by this.
Right.
It's not just, as we said before, like in TISO, where it's scripted. It just changes this effect in a preset way. It's going to matter how you hit this thing, how
And
you're doing
where-
it, which is what I
where
think
you
this video
hit
is
it.
testing. This video is, adjusting the physics of how the damage applies based on where it's hit.
Right.
Whereas the other ones were just, oh, look, we said this is destroyed, now it collapses.
Yeah.
Or we removed a box and this collapses. The test
And you
falling.
can see it kind of fan out, and as it
Yeah.
destroys the layers behind it, you got to make the hole big enough to get through too.
Yes.
Like I mean, imagine being like a small character. You just drill like a little hole through the side of a keep. No one notices you because the fight is on the other side of the keep.
Yes.
And then you're like, "Hey guys, I got the hole," and you all run around to the other side. Like I know in TISO, a lot of times you'll go to a keep and people will be fighting on one side of the keep, and on the other side there's a hole in the wall. And that's a giant hole. Like
Yep.
this seems like you might be able to make a little way in and out of the keep. You can maybe not even tell anybody, and you go in there and you're just like assassinating people, and they're like, "How is this guy getting in?" And like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, and Agokni in chat pointed out also the new fire and smoke effects, that we've got in here, the
Yes.
textures for the
That
spell
that
itself,
looks amazing.
which looks really nice.
yeah. I mean this, and I know some
And that
people,
green wall, it's so plastic and awesome.
right? I mean, some people will look at that and say, "Oh, this
it's
ugly."
rubbery like the dogs.
Right.
It's,
I mean,
it looks like Army Men to me.
it's
Like,
gonna have
It's
texture.
argument in video games.
it's a duck wall.
It's gonna have texture. It's gonna look better.
Yeah.
But I can't think of any game that even comes close to this sort of. I mean, it's kind of realistic. It's
Yes.
right. Like people
Yeah,
are gonna,
I actually think for some of the damage effects, the texturing, of course they're not even at that point of needing to do that yet, really.
changes
but
color, maybe
I
chars
was-
it around the.
Well, I was gonna say they can actually look at some of the stuff that Star Citizen came out with recently in the last couple of months because they've been doing that,
Their
adding
textures on
more
on
depth
the
to
damage,
the damage textures for ships
on,
and
the, on
stuff.
the ships. Yeah, exactly.
Lots
That
of
would look
awesome
great.
updates. I mean, I feel like this is what's going to make or break the game. Like crafting is huge. You need to have that longevity. But I think this is what's really going to set it apart because, like, Star Wars Galaxies had amazing crafting, right? Like,
Yes.
this sort of destructibility and building that you can fight over is something we haven't
No
seen.
games has no.
No game's done it like this. And this is what is going to capture people's imagination. It's going to get them fired up. It's going to crush their spirit and make them go to bed crying. Someone burns down your keep, and you can't make it out of wood because don't make your walls out of wood. That's what we learned, or green block.
Yeah.
Because that would be terrible. You guys, any final thoughts as far as destruction? What we know so far, this sort of update we got here. Nothing else.
I think they're actually moving nicely. We see regular updates and we see pretty big strides, and we get to see the way they think because with the updates we see what their I think you can gather what their end goal is, and it's realism. you're gonna have to decide for your strategy. You're gonna have to have a lot of things to in mind to make your strategy. Where you do damage, what type of damage you do,
Right.
seeing where the things will fall.
Yeah, we just got this new
one thing
video.
I really love also.
Yeah, we just got
Yeah,
a new video. Agony. I didn't see this one. Another one showing this.
didn't?
Obviously,
Yeah.
the fire's overpowered just to show how
Yes,
it works.
it is.
It's not going to work like that in game. But I mean, you see how it doesn't burn the glass in the middle right away, but it's burning all the way to the side of the green. I mean, you really think of how in depth that is. You really have to think about when someone burns down this wooden partition. Can people still get into the tower? Or the stone is the brick?
Yes.
And you can see in the video, it's not burning the blocks at the very top because they can't reach them. They're just falling down.
Right.
So it's burning out the blocks under it, and then the ones on top are dropping off.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Chris, like you were just talking about, sorry to cut you off, this video captured my attention.
Yes.
But you're talking about how we have recently, especially, like this is Andrew Meggs, he's putting out this stuff. You kind of have to go look for it, but these are like major game mechanic things that they're building and they're moving along. So it may not be flashy and pretty yet, but these are the important parts of the game. They can add on a good looking texture.
Yes, it's the core, and that's the thing that has to work for the game to work.
Yeah, if that doesn't work, then it doesn't matter what it looks like.
The fluff is nice, but it's not what will keep the game going and being fun. It's those mechanics.
Yeah.
I think the real issue here with a lot of people's expectations, which I don't think are incorrect, is based on I think we do need an updated timeline on things because the original timeline we were given puts the game coming out within like a year, and if they're still working on basic physics, I assume that's not something that's feasible.
Well, that's a good question. We know. I think there was an announcement. Mark, they said that Mark's going to have it sometime talking about that. Officially, the game was supposed to come out the middle of next year, so about a year away. They've already
July 2016.
Yeah, they officially pushed it back about 6 months, so we're thinking the end of next year. What do you guys think? Is it possible? Is that announcement going to be pushed back? Because this does kind of look basic, like you need this to make the game. But
yes, but as I said, we discussed that a bit in Guild a few days ago. I think they're also working non-linearly, so that is being worked on one side, but there's other mechanics that they're working on. Apart from that, and the art and the textures are being worked on at the same time, so it doesn't work linearly. It's many different blocks being worked on at the same time.
Right.
That being said, we know the problems they had to hire programmers, engineers, and another artist. So I think there's going to be some delay. But
it could be that they're working on some of these things in a parallel fashion. I think the part that bothers me, not so much as seeing them still working on the basic physics of the game, but that there are still very basic systems that we don't have confirmed or know about. Like, as many people have pointed out, we don't even know what the official name of the game is yet. It kind of seems like there are certain... We know, but it hasn't been officiated.
Change it. Yes,
theoretically, the races are still up in the air. The classes are still theoretically in the air. They're not nailed down and confirmed. And so when there's things like that I'm like, well, shouldn't those have been figured out fairly early on? It makes it hard for me to be anticipating any kind of a game within the next year.
Mark Jacobs put a word about the classes because there's been some complaints about that on the forums. He said that they wanted to prioritize the abilities of the classes, make all the abilities work, and then they can bundle them under names to make the classes.
Right.
They're working them backwards to most of the other games I've played or I've seen developed.
Yeah.
But I'm still worried about that.
It's tough because you're comparing it to what other games do we have compared to? ESO, which is $100+ million game. SWTOR, 200-something million. World of Warcraft. We're used to AAA MMOs. By the time we get it and we see it, it's been worked on by 200 people for 5 years. They're basically done. They show you and they say it's alpha, but it's not. And this is so early. And like you said, Velik, there might be a ton of stuff that they're working on we just haven't seen yet, right? Like the artists have been working on stuff this entire time. Even if it's delayed, I think my biggest thing is, of course, I want to play a fun game as soon as possible. But with these updates we're seeing, they're making great strides, right?
Yes.
Like whenever we get this game looks fun, you know?
Yeah.
So I mean,
It's just a question of when that is.
Yes.
I don't know.
Which is something I think we need
Coming
to
to
know.
you in 2025. Camelot Unchained. Right?
I think, for example, I've said that on the forums, and I've agreed with Velik on that. We need to, at least for the races, have at least an idea. We don't need a detailed model in game. We need rough IDs.
What's the basic concept?
Even if we don't have the art for them, the names, the description of the IDs of the races, so we can choose them so they can start working. To me, it's a waste of time to make art models. Think about races that might not be picked. Rather make a rough draft of the races you want the backers to decide on, and then work on them.
Yeah.
But first, just text.
It's
Text is enough.
It's a two-part problem for us not having that basic sort of information. But one, the game, we've been following the game for like 2+ years now, and there's still basic things like that we don't know. It looks kind of bad for the backers. For us looking at the game, it looks kind of bad. And for like the guilds, it becomes very difficult to keep people interested and recruit people to follow the game with you and everything. Because people don't want to choose a faction because they don't know what each faction is going to have exactly. But then also, we have started to see backers asking for those refunds that have been promised that they're able to get. And that's not a good thing. And I think it stems from this lack of communication and information on some of these basic things. Like, I'm glad we're supposed to be getting an update soon, like next week, because I really feel like we need one to keep. Because I don't want to see people losing interest in the game. I don't want to see people backing out of the game. I'm not going to. But if lots of other people start doing that, what's it going to do to the game's development?
Right.
And I don't want to see that become a problem. I want to see the game continue to develop and continue to have the money to keep on doing what they're doing and have the time to make these awesome physics and everything that's going to make the game awesome.
We'll see. I mean, I want to remain positive because there are days like when I get a message that says, "Hey, do you guys want to have a poster? How would you be excited about a poster?" I want to say I don't give an F about a poster or a t-shirt. Where's the game? Why does it take 2 years to hire developers? I know it's difficult, but and I know they're working on it, but this is what you got to deal with. You're going to do a Kickstarter. You want players to pay to build the game. This is got
to give them updates,
right? I mean, this is what investors do. When an investor puts in millions of dollars and 2 years goes by and you've been delaying for 2 years, they're the ones on the phone saying, "Hey, we gave you $2 million. Where's the stuff?" Now we are the investors. I think we have every right to say, "Hey, give us more information."
Yes.
You barely told us about one class. You don't have a name for a game yet. You don't have the developer we paid for 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
I don't think I'm unreasonable.
You're way unreasonable.
If there's a reason they don't want to name the classes and pick them and stuff yet, okay, just tell us what that reason is. Communication. Just say, all right, we can't tell you about that right now because X, Y, and Z, and then I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and we're going to get that update. We'll see what the update says. We'll probably have it as part of a show. We're also going to talk about the classes that we know about so far, what we have and what we've seen, what we talked about, the bounty system, the destruction. It's looking good, but if you want, we need more information. We want it. Mark Jacobs, we want it.
Yes.
We need it, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. All right. Well, that's it for this week. Chris, final thoughts, anything we talked about, bounty system, destruction, delay. Chris, what do you think?
I like the bounty system. It's a good idea. I'm waiting to have more info on that, but I'm really excited about the destruction. Because as a crafter, I'm going to build those things. I'm going to build those keeps. And I'm going to have to think, how would it fall if it get hits? Where is it? Where are the weak points? How can I direct attacks to some points to make it easier to defend and to prevent the keep from being completely destroyed? Or how to rebuild the keep we just took? Do we rebuild it? Do we just tear it down and take the materials and build something else? All that will depend on the way they do the physics and the destructions. And because I'm thinking of making also fighting alt, how would it affect sieges? The damage? Can we call the numbers of the defenders by making part of the keep fall on them?
Right.
Different use of the siege weapons. You put different things on your ballista, on your catapult. It can damage not only the keeps but also the defenders. So that's all those kind of things that I'm really excited about.
Awesome. Velik, what do you think? Final thoughts.
I think some of the physics stuff we are seeing is going to be amazing. I think the bounty system has some of the greatest potential for helping to drive the PvP forward and keep it interesting. It's not like the sole major system. I just think it's going to be a cog in a network of things that will help the PvP stay interesting over the long run. And much like Chris said, I'm really excited about the physics because it is the sort of thing we really haven't seen before in this kind of a game. And I think it has a hell of a lot of potential. I'm not sure how they're going to do it without, just lagging everybody's screens out and causing chaos, but that's for them to figure out. I'm not a developer. So I trust that they're going to be able to figure that out and come up with something that's going to be awesome. And I just look forward to the one day when people take a tower the wrong way and they smash it and it falls back on top of them and I get to laugh. It'll be great.
Right.
We'll have it on YouTube.
I would love
we'll do
that.
videos.
Yes.
It'll be glorious.
It will be amazing. I agree with you guys. I'm excited. I think one of the coolest things is they know they want to have hundreds of people fighting, and so these systems they're building, they're making them work in a way where hundreds of people can still fight. You know what I mean?
No, thousands.
Right.
The last test. The last test, they had 1,700 player characters, bots and players, but 1,700 in one zone.
So I mean, you may
I know
see
we'll
it may
never
look,
have those numbers.
it may look blocky, it may whatever you think, but when you're in the middle of a battle with hundreds of people and towers are collapsing, and I mean, I think it'll be an experience. Right, we haven't experienced before. It's going to be awesome. Remember, we do this cast. We're doing it every other week now, Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Also posted on YouTube to watch the replay. I believe next week we're talking about classes, what we know from the Drenger. Lots of awesome stuff coming up. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Bye.
See you guys.